Wow, what a crowd. Something happening? Okay, just checking out. You're not here by accident. So, Unetaneh Tokef is an exquisite midrashic poem. And again, I want to just explain to you, not everything we read is a prayer, okay? It's statements, it's poetry. It's not, oh, I'm praying this. You're not praying this. You're absorbing it. You're internalizing it. You're expected to somehow be in it rather than just be reciting it. So Unetaneh Tokef is an exquisite midrashic poem. We'll be reciting it in a moment. It's a universal statement, not a prayer. It is a description of our fragility, a description of the way of life and death. It is a universal statement using the noun Adam, earthling. We are all B'nai Adam. We're earthlings from the earth we came. It's a description, basically, that all B'nai Adam, all people in this world, have been inspired by the breath of life, Nishmat Chayim. Rosh Hashanah, which celebrates the creation of the universe, is commemorated by our extensive service in the most particularistic way. Rosh Hashanah is not mentioned in the Torah. There is the first day of the 7th month, Tishrei. It's called Yom Teruah, the day of blowing of the horn, and I don't think it was a 3 to 4 hour service that was repeated on the second day. Yom Teruah is a call to awaken us to Yom HaKippurim, the day of purgation, which follows on the 10th of the month. Now, Judaism lives in a tension of the universalistic and the particularistic. And this necessary tension provides us a way for our particularism to affect the universal. As the tension of a violin string vibrates to a glance of a bow, it creates sound. We need tension. Tension isn't bad. Hypertension is bad. You should deal with that. And this has been said about the shofar by many, that if you basically blow into the wide end of the shofar, you will make no sound. But if you blow through the narrow end, you make a sound that can awaken the world from its slumber. In this liturgical poem, in the Unetaneh Tokef, all of humankind assembles before the shepherd. They are counted as they pass by her staff, and everyone counts, and we are able to be counted on to build our lives. We will soon sing, it is written on Rosh Hashanah and is sealed on Yom Kippur, who will die at their time and others not. We see that all the horrific ways of dying that have been described in this recitation, earthquake, flood, hunger, thirst, violence, poverty, dislocation, some will lose fortunes, others will gain them, some will live the life of composition, others will decompose. These are not theoretical observations. We witness these forms of death every waking hour as we see the fragility of structures made of stone and mud. The poem tells us that we can mitigate the realities of our own deaths by clinging to 3 values. Tshuva, returning to one's core identity, I would say deflating the ego. Tefillah, a process of self-reflection and an appeal, a way to appeal to our highest selves, lehit palel, a reflexive verb. Tzedakah, righteousness that imposes an imperative on us to help those around us. And at the end, Unetaneh Tokef concludes with an ode to our impermanence. All things change. When we greet each other with a Shana Tova, we are wishing us a good change. In Hebrew, lishanot is to change. Have a good change. It is hard to change, and most of us don't, and we'll be back next year. But this wish of a good change may be really saying that we hope that we can be more comfortable with change, more comfortable with impermanence, that we should not resist change, especially when strongly held beliefs are challenged. We can change our minds. Wow. And some of us actually can hold more than one idea in our head at the same time. Not many, it seems, around us, but some of us can. And perhaps this comfort with change will allow us to step down from our pedestals that acclaim our absolutism. Everything isn't permanent. Gam ze ya'avor. This too shall pass. The penultimate ending of this describes Adam arising from dust that will soon vanish like a dissipating cloud and return to dust. And the final line proclaims that we can lean on what is eternal, the organizing principle of reality. What indeed is eternal? What eternal values do we have access to? Before the Torah was given at Sinai, a deal was made between the people and God. And it was done by creating a covenantal moment, and we took on a role called in the world to be a mamlechet kohanim, literally a kingdom of servers. A kohen is one who serves. Hi, my name is Eugene, I'm your kohen tonight, right? That kind of thing. We have served the world well. It is rarely appreciated. And we have contributed to humankind in countless, countless ways. And we have done it so well that some people see our contribution as a threat and say we rule the world. Because we do it pretty well. We do it pretty well. My friends, this mission that we have to be servers in this world, our mission is to help humanity to maintain civilization. To maintain civilization. And we have a sort of a formula for this in our tradition. Some of you may be aware, and many were not aware. It's called the sevenfold path of Noah. You've heard of the eightfold path of the Buddha. We have the sevenfold path of Noah. It's derived by our sages from a paragraph following the setting of the rainbow in the sky as a sign that the earth will not be destroyed again by water. Current climate challenges may belie this promise. But what then is the covenant of Noah, the so-called Sheva mitzvot, the 7 mitzvot of the children of Noah? They are succinctly put, won't have time to unpack it all, we could spend an entire semester doing it. First, do not murder, do not steal, don't engage in blasphemy, cursing God, do not worship idols, do not engage in exploitative sexual relations, do not eat the flesh of an animal that is still alive, and finally, the most difficult of all, the 7th one is a positive mitzvah: establish just court systems to undergird order and justice. The sevenfold path is paved by essential moral demands. As I said, I don't have time to open this up, but I summarize it by saying these demands are the sanctity of life, stealing opportunities for growth from others, learning to be grateful, worshiping the fragment and not the whole will bring you down, create boundaries within intimacy, and be humane when it comes to all living creatures with which we share our planet. And finally, provide access to real justice for all who seek it. And these 7 mitzvot are the prerequisites for a civil and just society. As we look out into the world, we're getting there very slowly. Where are we? Well, on a good day, 10%. I hope you're more optimistic than I am. Here, too, the particularism supports the universal. There is no mitzvah to be a Jew. All of humanity has a place in the world to come, if that's how you see salvation. All who observe these essential civilizational laws are considered chasidei umot ha'olam, the righteous of the world. So in a moment, as we say Unetaneh Tokef, as we examine ourselves in this moment, our mission is to have the capacity to be truly human, to have the capacity of bringing our entire self into this statement of the reality of life and death. The greatest wish you could give a child in Eastern Europe, and even today, is that that person should grow up to be a mensch. A mensch. A mensch, this way I'll define a mensch, okay? It's a responsive and responsible human being. What? A responsive and responsible human being. If that is what is a mensch, and it's become a verb, an adjective now, right? He's menschy, right? He's menschy. So I wish for all of us this continued growth, as we should all, alle wachsen wie ein Mensch. We should all grow into that Menschlichkeit, into that being truly human, truly responsive, truly responsible. Our mission is to allow our particularism of being a Jew to pave the path to Menschlichkeit, to being a full human being. To be a good Jew, people say, what's a good Jew? I say a good Jew is a mensch. You can't be a good Jew and not be a mensch. You're missing the whole point. We are a path towards something. We're not the ultimate goal. The goal is to join all of humanity. Liot b'nei Adam. In modern Hebrew, you want to say a person is a mensch. It doesn't sound as good as a mensch. You say, hu ben Adam. He's the son of Adam. Hu ben Adam. He's responsive. He's responsible. So through Yiddishkeit, we reach Menschlichkeit. And don't forget that. It doesn't end with Yiddishkeit. Because if it ends there, all right, we're another sect in the world that only revolves around itself without any way of entering into the universal thing. So before we begin chanting, just want to wish you a Shana Tova. Have a good change. Have a good change. Used to be people used to have small change in their pockets, no more. So be a good change.